earlier, this is your GmbH, you have the GmbH, otherwise maybe you won't. So I would recommend to really have a GmbH or go to America and have an Inc. Yeah.
Got it. Or in the very first phase before that, don't even fund a corporation if you don't have any.
Yeah, you have to be very, it's not so easy because if you have a contract to found a company or not, if you're working with somebody else, you have from a legal point of view some sort of contract, even if it's not written. So you have to be careful. If something went completely wrong, yeah, then you have the problem of risk with all your equity, everything you have. So sometimes it's good to have a company in front of you.
And adding to that, the latest, if you find some fools, it's much more easier to give them shares in a limited company and so on. How to do this in a friendship? That's good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, please.
I read a lot, so I want to please know every one of you one book of who you think that was really an awesome book and maybe a key book or something like that in your life, or maybe about business or whatever. So one book where you say, wow, that was awesome.
I'm sorry to say, but I'm not a really hard reader. So I read the magazines and online stuff, but yeah, I'm not sure which book was actually one really big hit. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know a book because there was not a book that influenced my business stuff. I read some books about business, but yeah, now I'm reading the Steve Jobs bio. It's interesting for me. Yeah, I read some medical books, but I think they're not useful for you. So I'm a little bit sorry to say I don't know any business book for you to actually read. I know some different other ones, but was not a perfect book for building up my business. That was not an influencing book that brought me to the idea to make a company.
I'm not an entrepreneur, so I don't have any book standing for all my life. With Ernst & Young, and that fills a big part of my life, of course, but in comparison with a real entrepreneur, I do have private life besides. So for your situation, sorry for that, I don't know the name of the author, I don't know the name, the title. The thing inside had been, I bring it afterwards if you want to. In your typical situation, what is the tipping point for how long I'm forced to share my ideas? The first time you have to share ideas to get your team, to get your investors and so on, even with the risk that maybe someone will steal your ideas. It's a risk. And what's the typical point you have to go to? That has been booked about. Bring the title if you want to.
Okay. Isn't it called the tipping point?
No.
Innovations dilemma or something like that.
I'm looking for it.
I have no book tip for you. I have another much better tip. I was at Startup Live week last year. I was really inspired by the guys running around. You should do the same. Go to the Pioneers event, and there you really get the right people. There you really get inspired to start up. There you have these guys all sitting there, waiting for you, talking to you, and this is much better than reading thousands of books, I think. First of all, I have to say something about life and work. Yeah. So I
love my life, and I don't distinguish between work and the other things. So I have time for sex. I have time for my children. I have time for my, for playing in a jazz band. I like music very much. I have time to be chief visionary officer in several companies. I have time to go to Hagenberg and join the conference. Because the interesting thing is, it's my decision how to split my time. Yeah, that's my decision. That's my power on and off switch. Where with whom I do what, when, and where. Okay, so it was, I have to say that, so sorry. Coming to the book, Guy Kawasaki, Art of the Start. And there are other books that if you want to see what I am reading, just go to goodreads.com/Leeb. You'll see all the books I have at home, and you can see what I'm actually reading. So, if you like, just follow me.
Leeb.
Yes?
Stefan. So, this is 3 people not having mentioned the book, so I have to mention 4. That's the Innovator's Dilemma. It's a very good book, actually, I think. Another book I would recommend is In 80 Trades Around the World. It's not as famous, but this is a guy. In 80 Trades Around the World. The economist who sold his house to trade around the world and buy stuff, jasmine in China and sell it somewhere else. Then I think a very good book was Founders at Work. And since everybody wants to work less here, it seems, I would also recommend the 4 Hours Work Week.
Thank you. If there are no other questions, I would say this was a perfect last question. And I just would like to ask the guys for the final statement, some messages they would like to give to you. Let's start with you, Fritz.
I'm always doing the...
You have more time for preparation?
Yeah, I need more time to prepare it. But anyway, I think there are a lot of creative guys out, and you got a lot of great ideas because I was a mentoring program and saw some creative guys having great ideas. For advice for you, if you have an idea, just go out and fucking do it. Because nobody wants to do it, nobody wants to take risk. Everybody's talking about getting rich, everybody's talking about I have a great idea, maybe I can do it, but nobody does it, or nobody takes the risk to it. So my tip for you is just, if you have an idea, focus on it and do it.
Thank you.
Of course, it's a decision. I have to do this. And my decision, as you see, is being no interpreter. Seeing so much stories in my analyst's life, I can only say, if you do have a dream, you're on the better side. Because you, of course, always find a second guy, and my tip is find one. But you always find a second guy who's taking the critical part and doing the look in the numbers. You do need this second guy, but the second guys, there are enough of them. The one with the dream is the one who has the soul number. Nobody can, and the other one can't buy.
Thank you.
Take all the help you can get from people here, from resources here, and try to do it and bring it on the road.
Thanks.
Yeah, just do it and convince the customer, not the people not moving. Yeah, you understand? Try to find the customer, convince the customer, not people taking a risk. And by the way, risk, the biggest risk at the moment is to stay and do nothing. Yeah, right? That's risky. So have a vision, have a direction, and just do it.
Thanks.
Well, I would suggest that you either do your own startup or work for a startup, and whatever you do for your work life, try to find the very best people to work with. Whenever you have to decide between two things, one more attractive than the other one, you know, whatever it seems like. If you can't decide on the people you work with. You know, even if it's a bigger company, decide on the team you're working with and the guys you work with, because this is where you're going to learn a lot, and then you're going to develop, and you're going to have a lot of more chances. So that's my recommendation. And yeah, also just my very last words. I'm more than happy to help anywhere. I tried to say it at the beginning, and I hope that you know, a lot of you have some questions at some point, and whenever you have, you know, just drop an email. I'll try to be responsive and help when I can.
Thank you. Thank you guys for the interesting discussion. Thank you for your attention, for interesting questions. Of course, there is the possibility to discuss while having dinner. I think all of you will stay here for some moments longer. Yeah. So, yeah, have a nice evening. Have an interesting day tomorrow. A nice weekend afterwards. Thank you very much. And I think Mario wants to, okay, Thomas wants to tell you some organizational details. Thank you.